Hello again, it's Noob, and the classic four-wheel combination lock bypass situation is so much worse than I first thought. So like most lockpickers, and I'm hoping most people now, I know about the classic shim bypass method where you go to a locked four-wheel combination lock like this, you pop a shim tool between the wheels like that, you push down, push a shackle in, and then you bypass the locking mechanism. So how does this bypass work? Well, we have a fork here which locks the lock in this down position, and when you put the right code in, I'm putting it to all zeros now, what happens is that the fork with a spring, which is there, drops down into the flat spot on the wheels corresponding to the correct code, and that unlocks the lock. When it's all locked up and you can see the fork is dropped down, you can use a thin shim between the wheels to go underneath, so like that, underneath the fork. And what you're trying to do is get this underneath the mechanism like that, so you can lift, see that? Lift the fork out of its lock position to its open position without getting the right number, and that's how this bypass works. However, a friend of mine recently showed me a video from Coxey's Picks, which I will leave a link to, and this is the first time that I've seen this particular bypass. And I've been picking locks for about 10 years now, and I thought I knew most of the common bypasses, but there is a technique where you don't need one of these special bypass tools. You can lock your padlock up like this and go in with a pick above one of the dials like this, just a little bit, rock it back, push down, and we unlock the lock like this. So this might be a commonly known technique to many lockpickers out there. I was just not aware of it until I saw Coxey's Picks video on a Yale Y126, which I immediately went out and bought one, because all of these locks are on sale. Even though this bypass is well known, or these bypasses are well known on these four-wheel combination locks, these locks are still sold, and it just makes them incredibly insecure, and hopefully videos like this will get the message out there that these are not great locks for locking up anything, even if they have good security ratings by the manufacturers themselves. So let's have a look at this bypass in action on all of these locks. And yes, I know that Masterlock are overrepresented here, but I happen to have a lot of Masterlock four-wheel combination padlocks, and not many other brands like Yale and Blackspur, but there are many other ones out there. It's not a Masterlock knocking video or anything like that. So here we have a Masterlock M175, which is very much locked up, and this one is a little trickier for this bypass to work. So we go in, push down, and we got the open. There we go. That was a bit tricky, that one. Then we have the Masterlock M176, which you can also pick. It's got a little lock on the side. I love that. But this one again should be a little bit tougher, but we will be able to get there. So again, just get that in the right position, and we've got the open there. I think we'll move on to the Yale Y126. I don't want to feel like I'm just picking on Masterlock here, so give those a scramble. I'll put the pick in just at what I think is a sweet spot. And we got that open quite quickly. I just grabbed the 178, give it a scramble, it's all locked up. We're going to pop that pick just there, and we have that open. So the Masterlock 175 here, we'll just get a tool in there, see if we can't get that one too. There, we got it. So how does that bypass work? Well, it really confused me until I had a look at my homemade cutaway. I hope you saw a video on this not so long ago. And then I realized what's happening. So when the lock is fully locked, these forks don't hit the flat spots of the wheels, and they don't normally go down, but you can push down on them at the tips and pivot this up. So I'll put my pick or probe or whatever in just a little bit at an angle to get above one of the forks. It can actually be one of the other forks like this. You can see that better there. And you just push down until the whole locking mechanism lifts up like that, push down, and then you can release it. So that's what's happening. It's easier to normally get it from this last wheel and get the tine at the end like this. So we can go in again, we can just get the tip like that, put it to one side. You'll see that we'll scramble it back up, it all locks back up. Put this in, get it underneath one of the, don't need to push it in very far, just a little bit. Get the end of one of those fork tines, and then we open it up like that. So it really is just a case of getting a probe in and just pushing down on the very tips of the tines of the code fork there. That's basically it. So does that mean that this little bypass works on every one of these 4-dial combination padlocks? Well, no actually. So this Federal lock and I think some of the ABUS padlocks have a slightly different configuration. Look at this master lock 175 and look at this lock with the numbers facing up. You'll see that somehow the locking mechanism is sort of reversed, and no matter what I try, no matter where I go in, whether it's on these numbers here or underneath, the tight tolerances combined with whatever's going on inside here means that this particular lock just hasn't so far succumbed to that bypass technique, and it can't be shimmed in the same way either, because it's actually got shielding here as well. So some of these 4-wheel combination locks are far better than others. Quite often you do get what you pay for. I think that combination locks are a little compromised in terms of security normally anyway, but certainly this Federal lock and some of the ABUS 4-wheel combination padlocks are not easily bypassed, at least not using those techniques. So there you go. I'd love to know your thoughts on this bypass. Did you know about it? Am I just like the last lockpicker ever to know about this particular variant of the 4-wheel combination padlock bypass technique? I just really didn't know about it. Thank you so much to Coxie's Picks for teaching me about this technique. But yeah, it's clearly a big problem. There are some big brands out there, and these locks are just way too easy to bypass. You don't really need any specialized tools, just something thin enough to stick in there and open the lock, which is actually quite scary and not a big recommendation for this sort of design. Anyway, if you like this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do so for more content like this. You can always hit that notification bell to be notified when I next upload content. It all really helps me out and I really appreciate it. Otherwise, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.